like when you grow up in the same neighborhood, you're exposed to the same things, so you don't necessarily know, or you don't necessarily have the urge to discover. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I wake up, if I know that my classroom is on such and such street and I go there every day, then that becomes a comfort, and I'm not necessarily learning anything on that journey to that classroom. So I find that traveling, I look at everything as a lesson. So anytime I travel, anytime I go anywhere, I try to observe and take in as much as I possibly can. And I don't know, I'm a really big fan of culture, and present culture, past culture, you know, whatever the case may be. And I just find it really, really interesting to be in a different energy and around a different group of people and have a dialect with them and talk with them and learn from them. So that's pretty much what I've come across, like in my travels thus far, is that there's so much to know, you know, and there's so much point of views, so much perspectives on one thing, and there's like 30 people think 30 different things about that. And you know, if you stay in the same element or the same environment, then everyone pretty much has the same point of view in that environment because everyone influences each other. So with traveling, I learned so much from just being able to. You're from Denmark, okay? What's the language? You know, what's known there? What's the food? Like, and being able to try those things. You know, like that's what I like. When I first left the States, that's the first thing I did. I just went out and I made friends. I was like, taking me to where you guys go. You know, I just wanted to be in that element. So it's just like, I don't know, it's really inspiring, you know, at the end of the day, because once I get back to where our home base is and I sit down and I think about everything that I've experienced, then I can apply that to my art. School. When I was about to graduate and I started writing my own songs and recording in a new school, a friend of mine, Jeremy Most, producer Morris, and he used to be in the band as well. We were on the train one day, he was telling me a story basically, and you know, we were just talking about this cat, and he was saying, we were asking everybody, what do you want to do? Like after school, what do you want to do? You know? And then I was like, man, I just want to, you know, travel, see the world. You know, I want a Grammy, and I was naming all these material things. And then this one cat was like, oh, I just want to create beauty. And then at first, it was like a little standoffish. Like we looked at him, what is this dude talking about? But then, you know, in time, like me sitting about and thinking about it, like beauty is pretty much more so appealing to everyone. That is you can find beauty in anything basically. So him saying he wanted to create beauty means he just wanted to live a good feeling life. So that's why I pretty much rolled with the beauty created, because to me it just meant like just feeling good all around no matter what, you know. And then I applied it to my band because, you know, that's what we do. We try to play from people so they can feel good, not for ourselves. And that's why I named the band The Beauty Created, and that's why I named the album The Beauty Created, because it wasn't for me, it was to share, you know, that point of view through song. So, great. A circle of artists that are my peers, that I respect highly, and that are great musicians, and basically have the same point of view and kind of walk the same life that I walk. There's Emily King. She's a really good friend of mine, and she's a really good, amazing artist and a passionate person. Chris Turner, he's from Cali, he's from Oakland. I've known him since I was 17. That's my brother. He's an amazing singer. Like he's singing background for Bilal right now, but he's doing a lot of stuff on his own. Tamara Ruby, she's like a great talent. She reminds me of like a Billie Holiday kind of vibe, you know, even kind of like Sade-esque, you know, and she's from the Bay Area as well. And then there's, you know, I listen to hip hop as well, so I got Mellow X, he's a rapper, producer, DJ, Jamaican, whatever you would call him. He's really dope. That's my brother. And then lastly, Maroof is from New Jersey. He's from Irvington, New Jersey. He's Nigerian. And, he's just really honest in his music, you know, and I feel like the generation, he's a little younger than I am, and I feel like that generation is more so bringing back the honesty that our generation didn't necessarily deliver as an artist, like, you know, the true, like to be real, you know, not to be pretentious in your music. And I really appreciate that, because that's what I try to do and deliver in my sound. So those are really who I'm listening to as far as my peers. Always tell younger people to be an individual, because I feel like growing up in society, growing up in America or anywhere else, you're always drawn and everything always looks better because it's presented to the masses, you know, and it might not necessarily everything's always broken up into cliques, right? So like, you never want to be caught in a clique that doesn't care for you or doesn't have the same mind frame or well-being or gives anything about what your future is going to look like. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much to be around progressive people, but being around progressive